There is something different in the air for Sagittarius right now. You may not be able to name it yet. You may not even be fully aware of it. But something has quietly shifted in the energy surrounding your life. And what is coming next is not something you planned for or expected. That is exactly what makes it so powerful. Sagittarius is a sign that was born to move, born to discover, born to walk into the unknown and find treasure on the other side. You have always had a nose for opportunity, even when life seemed to be standing still. But what is approaching right now is different from what you have chased before. These are not opportunities you will have to hunt down. These are opportunities that are moving toward you. The universe has taken note of your patience, your resilience, your refusal to give up even when things felt heavy. You kept your eyes open when others closed theirs. You kept believing when the evidence around you said otherwise. And now what you have been quietly holding space for is beginning to materialize. Not all at once, not in the way you imagined, but in the way that is actually right for where your life is meant to go. The 11 openings that are approaching your sign are not small. They are the kind of shifts that can change the direction of a life. And they are yours if you are ready to recognize them and say yes. 1. A door you did not knock on is about to open. This is one of the most specific and powerful things about this particular energy cycle for Sagittarius. You have spent a great deal of time knocking on doors, pushing, applying, reaching out, and trying to make things happen through sheer force of will. That is in your nature. You are a fire sign ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, and waiting has never felt natural to you. But the opportunity that is about to appear in your life is not one you initiated. It is one that has been initiated by the universe itself, often through another person, often through a situation you thought had passed, often through a channel you had completely forgotten about. You may receive a message from someone you have not spoken to in a long time. You may get a referral from a place you never expected. You may be standing in an ordinary moment and have someone say something to you that changes the entire direction of what comes next. The key for Sagittarius right now is to resist the urge to dismiss what feels unexpected. Your instinct is to go hard after what you already have in your sights. But the most important opportunity approaching you right now is not in your direct line of vision. It is coming from the side. It is coming quietly, almost casually, almost like it does not matter. But it does matter. It matters a great deal. This is the universe doing what it does best, which is delivering what you actually need through a path you did not plan. For Sagittarius, the warning here is clear. Do not be so busy chasing what you thought you wanted that you miss what is genuinely arriving. Slow down enough to notice the unexpected. Pay attention to conversations you would normally rush through. Read the messages you have been letting sit. The door that is about to open for you is real, and it has your name on it. But you have to be present enough to walk through it. Stay open. Trust that not every great thing comes from your own effort. Some of the best things in life come from the grace of the universe working behind the scenes on your behalf. And right now it is working hard for you. 2. A financial opening is forming in an unusual place. Sagittarius is not typically obsessed with money for its own sake. You love what money gives you, which is freedom, adventure, the ability to move and explore and experience life without limitation. But you have not always had the most structured relationship with finances, and there have been times when money felt more like a source of stress than a source of freedom. What is approaching right now is an opportunity to change that in a way that actually fits who you are. This financial opening is not coming from a traditional source. It is not going to look like a standard raise or a predictable windfall. It is forming in a place that may feel unusual, creative, or even a little unconventional. This could be a new income stream tied to something you have been doing for love rather than money. It could be a business idea that has been floating around in your mind, finally finding the right moment to become real. It could be a conversation about compensation that you have been putting off, but that is now ready to have. For Sagittarius, the shift happening in your financial energy right now is tied directly to your willingness to assign real value to what you know, what you have experienced, and what you have to offer. Jupiter rules your sign, and Jupiter is the planet of abundance. When you are aligned with Jupiter's energy, you do not just receive a little more. You receive in a way that expands your entire sense of what is possible. The financial opening forming around you right now is connected to that expansion. But it requires you to take it seriously. It requires you to stop treating financial growth as a bonus and start treating it as something you actively deserve. You have put in real work. You have gained real wisdom. The question is whether you are ready to let that wisdom translate into real material reward. The answer, if you are paying attention, is yes. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you apply this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. 3. A relationship is about to evolve in a meaningful way. Sagittarius values freedom in relationships above almost everything else. You need space. You need room to be yourself. You need a connection that does not feel like a cage, and you have walked away from people before simply because the energy around them started to feel too heavy or too restricting. But what is approaching now is not a relationship that limits you. It is a relationship that genuinely grows. This could be a romantic connection that has been sitting at a certain level and is now ready to deepen in a way that still honors your independence. It could be a friendship that reveals itself to be far more meaningful than you realized. It could be a professional relationship that shifts into something more collaborative and mutually powerful. The evolution that is coming in your relationships right now is happening because you have done some work on yourself. You have gotten clearer about what you actually need from other people. You have stopped settling for connections that only look good from the outside. You have started to acknowledge what truly nourishes you versus what simply entertains you. Sagittarius has a tendency to keep things light, to move on quickly, to never let anyone see too much of what is underneath. But the relationship evolution approaching you now is asking you to let someone in. Not completely, not all at once, but enough to allow something real to form. The universe is sending you a person or deepening an existing bond because you are ready for it, even if part of you still feels uncertain. Trust the readiness underneath the uncertainty. That is where your real growth lives right now. This relationship shift is one of the most personally meaningful opportunities approaching your sign, and it will require a kind of courage that is different from the physical bravery Sagittarius is known for. It will require emotional courage. Show up for it. 4. A creative breakthrough is on its way. Sagittarius has always had a rich inner world. You think in big pictures. You dream in wide landscapes. You naturally connect ideas from completely different places and bring them together in ways other people never could. That is not a small thing. That is a gift. And right now, the creative energy around your sign is about to break through a wall that has been holding it back. You may have been feeling stuck creatively for a while. You may have had an idea you could not quite get off the ground. You may have known for a long time that you have something to say or something to make, but the right conditions never seem to line up. That is changing. The creative breakthrough approaching Sagittarius right now is not a small spark. It is more like a dam breaking. What comes through will surprise you with its clarity and its force. You will find yourself knowing exactly what to do next in a way that feels almost effortless. That is what it feels like when inspiration and timing align at the same time. Do not wait for this breakthrough to happen while sitting still. Sagittarius energy is movement-based. Go somewhere new, even if it is just a different part of town. Have a conversation with someone who thinks differently than you do. Pick up something you put down a long time ago. The creative opening is already forming, and your movement will be the thing that invites it all the way in. When it arrives, act on it immediately. Do not file it away for later. Sagittarius has a long history of brilliant ideas that never made it to completion simply because the initial fire was not honored fast enough. This time, honor the fire. This time, let the breakthrough become something real. 5. A long-standing problem is about to find its resolution. There is something in your life, Sagittarius, that has been going on for too long. You know what it is. It may be a situation you have been managing rather than solving. It may be a conflict that has been hovering in the background. It may be a decision you have been putting off because none of the options felt clear enough. Whatever it is, it has taken up mental and emotional space for far too long. And the opportunity approaching now is the opportunity to finally resolve it. This is not going to happen through more thinking. Sagittarius tends to overanalyze when a problem refuses to budge, turning it over from every philosophical angle, looking for the deeper meaning, trying to understand the lesson before the lesson is actually ready to be received. But the resolution coming now does not require you to fully understand it. It requires you to take one small, clear action in a direction that feels honest. The answer to the long-standing problem in your life is going to arrive simply, almost anticlimactically. It may come in a conversation where someone finally says what needed to be said. It may come in a moment of internal clarity where you realize you have already made the decision and just needed to admit it to yourself. It may come through a change in circumstances that removes the obstacle without you having to do anything except allow it. The opportunity here is not to solve the problem. The opportunity is to let the problem be solved. That requires a kind of surrender that Sagittarius rarely allows. But right now, surrender is exactly what is being asked of you. And when you offer it, the resolution that follows will feel like relief so deep that you will wonder why you held on so long. 6. A new path is revealing itself through unexpected guidance. Sagittarius is the sign of the seeker. You have spent your life looking for truth, for meaning, for a path that feels worthy of who you are. And sometimes that seeking has led you to dead ends. Sometimes the path you were certain was right turned out to be a detour. But every detour you have ever taken has brought you information and depth that a straight road never could have given you. Right now, a new path is revealing itself. And it is being revealed through guidance you were not expecting. This could come through a mentor, a teacher, or an elder who appears in your life at exactly the right moment. It could come through a book, a conversation, a piece of content that lands on you like a key finding its lock. It could come through your own inner voice speaking with a clarity and confidence that surprises even you. The new path does not require you to abandon everything you have already built. It requires you to add a layer, to go deeper, to take what you already know and bring it somewhere new. Sagittarius has never been afraid of a new direction. What sometimes stops you is the fear that changing course means admitting the old course was wrong. But it was not wrong. It was preparation. Everything you have done and experienced and learned has been preparing you for this new path that is now becoming visible. The guidance arriving in your life right now is real. It is trustworthy. It is coming from a place that has your genuine growth in mind. All you have to do is be humble enough to receive it. Open your ears. Open your mind. Let yourself be taught something you did not already know. A new path for Sagittarius is one of the most exciting things the universe can offer. And right now it is being offered. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. 7. A shift in your health or physical energy is coming. Sagittarius rules the hips, the thighs, and the entire physical system that allows movement and forward motion. You are meant to be in motion. Your body was built for adventure. But there are cycles when the energy drops, when the body gets heavy, when the enthusiasm that usually carries you through everything starts to feel like it is running on fumes. If you have been in one of those cycles, you are about to come out of it. The shift in physical energy approaching Sagittarius right now is significant. This is not just a small boost. It is a genuine renewal, the kind that makes you feel like yourself again after a period of feeling like a dimmer version of who you know you are. This renewal may arrive through a change in how you are caring for your body. It may come through the discovery of a new physical practice, a new routine, a new approach to eating or sleeping or moving that finally clicks in a way that previous attempts never did. For Sagittarius, the key is that the approach has to feel like freedom rather than discipline. The moment a health routine starts to feel like a cage, you abandon it. So the shift coming now is going to be one that actually resonates with your nature. It will feel expansive rather than restrictive. It will give you more of what you love, which is energy, aliveness, and the physical capacity to show up fully for your own life. Pay attention to what your body is asking for right now. Not what you think you should be doing. What your body is genuinely craving. That impulse is pointing you in the right direction. Your physical renewal is one of the most foundational opportunities approaching you, because without your energy, every other opportunity becomes harder to receive. 8. A conversation is coming that will change your perspective on everything. Sagittarius is a sign that loves conversation. You love ideas. You love the feeling of a discussion that opens your mind and pushes you to think differently. Some of your most life-changing moments have happened in the middle of a conversation you were not expecting to matter. And right now, one of those conversations is on its way. This is not a conversation you will plan. It is one that will happen naturally, almost accidentally, in a setting that feels ordinary. But something in it will land differently. Someone will say something that rearranges the way you have been looking at a situation that has been limiting you. You may have been carrying a belief for a long time, something about yourself, about what is possible for your life, about what you deserve, and this conversation is going to quietly dismantle that belief in the most useful way. Sagittarius has a tendency to think that they have already considered every angle. You are philosophical by nature, and you have spent real time wrestling with the big questions. But the perspective that is about to come to you is one you genuinely have not held before. It is coming from outside your usual circle of thought. It is coming from someone whose experience is different from yours in a way that gives them a view you simply do not have. Be ready to listen deeply. Be ready to sit with something uncomfortable for a moment before dismissing it. The conversation that changes your perspective on everything does not announce itself. Just happens. And afterward, you look back and realize that the direction of your thinking was never the same again. That conversation is close. Stay present. Stay curious. That is all Sagittarius needs to do to receive what is coming. 9. A moment of recognition is approaching. There are times when the world around you finally catches up to what you have been offering. Sagittarius has often been ahead of its time. You have shared ideas that people were not ready for. You have pointed in a direction that others could not yet see. You have put out effort and energy and vision that did not always get the acknowledgement it deserved, at least not right away. But something is shifting now. A moment of recognition is approaching. This could be professional recognition, someone in a position of influence finally seeing what you have been building and saying so out loud. It could be personal recognition, a loved one acknowledging something you have needed to hear for a long time. It could even be internal recognition, the moment where you finally let yourself feel proud of how far you have come. Whatever form it takes, this recognition is not empty. It is earned. It is real. And it is arriving at a time when you most need the confirmation that you are on the right path. Sagittarius has a complicated relationship with validation. On one hand, you tell yourself you do not need it. You are independent, you trust your own knowing. You do not require outside approval to keep moving. And that is partly true. But underneath that independence, you are human. And every human needs to occasionally hear that what they are doing matters. That moment is coming for you. Receive it gracefully. Let it in. Do not deflect it with a joke or a shrug. Let yourself feel what it means to be recognized for who you are and what you have given. That recognition is both an ending and a beginning. It closes one chapter and opens the door to the next level of what is possible for your life. 10. A long-distance or travel-related opportunity is opening. This one should not surprise you, Sagittarius. You were born to move. The symbol of your sign is the archer, always pointing toward the horizon, always aimed at something farther out. Travel is not just something you enjoy. It is something your soul requires. And right now, an opportunity connected to distance, movement, or exploration is forming in a way that is going to give your spirit exactly what it has been starving for. This opportunity could be literal travel, a trip that opens doors you did not know were waiting for you. It could be connected to someone or something in a different location, a partnership, a project, or a possibility that exists somewhere other than where you currently stand. It could also be metaphorical travel, a deep dive into a culture, a field of knowledge, a way of living that expands your sense of what the world contains. For Sagittarius, this kind of expansion is not optional. When you stop exploring, something in you begins to dim. And if you have been feeling dim lately, it is because the movement and discovery that feed your soul have been on hold. The long-distance opportunity approaching now is the universe's way of turning your light back on. Do not overthink the logistics. Sagittarius has a tendency to imagine every obstacle before taking the first step. And that habit has kept you stationary more than once when you should have been moving. The opportunity is real. The path will open. Take the step and trust that the ground will meet your foot. 11. The best version of your life is now within reach. This is the one that encompasses everything else. Every opportunity on this list, every shift, every opening, every recognition and breakthrough and resolution, all of it is pointing in the same direction. The best version of your life, the one you have caught glimpses of in your most hopeful moments, the one you have dreamed about during the long restless nights when you knew there had to be more. That version is now within reach. Not someday. Now. Not after some future transformation. Now. The Sagittarius who is watching or listening to this has already done more than you give yourself credit for. You have survived seasons that would have broken other people. You have held your vision when the evidence said to let it go. You have kept your heart open even when it cost you. And all of that has been building toward this. The energy surrounding your sign right now is not ordinary. It is the kind of energy that marks a genuine turning point. The kind that, when you look back years from now, you will identify as the moment everything changed. But it only becomes that moment if you step into it fully. If you show up. If you stop holding yourself at the edge of your own potential and actually walk into the center of what you are capable of. Sagittarius does not do small. You are not built for a small life. You are built for something expansive, meaningful, alive. And right now, all 11 of the opportunities moving toward you are invitations to live that life. Not pieces of it. Not the version that is safe enough to not scare you. The real version. The full version. The one that has been waiting for you all along. Say yes to it. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. There is a reason this message found you today, and it is not a small reason. Sagittarius is in a moment that does not come along often. The convergence of energy, timing, and personal readiness that you are experiencing right now is the kind of alignment that can redefine what the rest of your life looks like. And the most important thing you can do with that knowledge is not to let it pass you by. You have a long history of sensing opportunity before it fully arrives, but you also have a history of letting that sense become diluted by distraction, by the next exciting thing pulling your attention away before the first thing could fully take root. That pattern is something you are being asked to change right now. Not permanently, not dramatically, but in this specific season of your life. The 11 opportunities moving toward you are not going to wait indefinitely. They are real and they are arriving. But they are also looking for a Sagittarius who is steady enough to receive them. That steadiness does not mean you have to stop being yourself. It does not mean you have to abandon the spontaneity and the fire that make you who you are. It means that beneath all of that aliveness, you build a foundation. You commit to one direction long enough for the results to show up. You trust the process even when it is slower than you want it to be. Jupiter is your ruling planet, and Jupiter rewards faith. It rewards the person who believes in expansion even before the expansion is visible. You have always had that faith in the abstract. Now the universe is asking you to have it in the concrete, in the actual details of your actual life right now. Every single thing that is coming toward you is an expression of what you have been building inside yourself. The growth you did when no one was watching. The character you maintained when it would have been easier to give up. The hope you chose to carry when hope felt unreasonable. All of it is about to pay off in ways that will exceed what you imagined. So here is what Sagittarius is being called to do right now. Stay present. Stay engaged. Keep your eyes on the horizon, yes, because that is where you naturally look and that vision is a gift. But also look at what is right in front of you, because the horizon you have been dreaming of is closer than it has ever been. It is not off in the distance anymore. It is arriving. It is here. And you, Sagittarius, are exactly ready for it.